my platform. Okay, good. The volume's up. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day. Okay. So please know that my readings are timeless, which means whenever you get to this reading, this hair is bugging me. Whenever you get to this reading, there are going to be messages in here for you. If you are watching this reading in real time, then that means that this is Valentine's Day. Okay. For those of you that do have a Valentine, yay. For those of you that don't, you can ask God to be your Valentine. You can ask the Holy Spirit to unite with you. I think that Valentine's Day is a really good opportunity to show gratitude to the people that do love you and to show gratitude for the relationships that you have had that have brought you to where you're at now. And so I feel like if you don't have a Valentine this year, and again, please know that my readings are timeless. So whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. But for those of you that do not have a partner this year, okay, work upon loving yourselves. That's the best thing that you can do, is love yourselves. And by doing that, you will attract in somebody that also loves you because you're loving yourself. Welcome everybody coming into the chat. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. So please like the video, you guys. Share this content. Tell other people about it. Hype the video if you can do that, you guys, please and thank you. I really appreciate it. Also, if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question. And I'll set a 20-minute timer so I stay on track when it comes to time. So yeah, that's always available, you guys, for those of you that need your personal answers, well, personal questions answered and situations looked at. And oh, I think it's Saturday, isn't it? Well, either way, I hope you're having an awesome Valentine's Day, Phoenix Empress. But yeah, so I'm just making sure my cards are in the upright before I start the reading. Okay, so so thank you guys for all of your support. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your love, your kindness. It means the world to me. No donation is too small and no support goes unnoticed. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love you guys so much. Okay. So we are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters. We're calling upon our spirit guides, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, our ancestors, the archangels. I am just shuffling the cards, not ready for them to come flying out like that. The archangels, and we're asking that our spiritual team put a protective shield around us, keeping us safe during this reading, both before, during, and after, from all negative influence, impact, or anybody or anything that would try to negatively influence or impact this reading in any way. I pray for the highest light, the highest wisdom, and the highest knowledge and truth to be revealed to me and my collective, and I pray for my subscribers. So now as I call upon your personal favor, God, please continue to bless and prosper this platform. Please continue to bless and prosper me. Please continue to get the likes up, the shares, the subscribes, all of that stuff so we can spread these messages. And thank you, God, for all of the gifts and abilities and all of the messages that you give me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Higher self, all honor, glory, worship, and praise goes to my higher self, God, your higher self, God, the divine realm. And thank you for being here with us. Amen. Okay, so by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled, please be on your best behavior. And what that means is, like, obviously when you're listening to these readings or any reading, use your discernment, okay, which is your natural gift and ability to use clear feeling, which is clairsentience. Okay, everybody has clairsentience, so don't say, oh, I don't have any gifts and abilities and I can't do that. No, everybody has a gut feeling, and it's just like when you learn to listen to that gut feeling. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. Life becomes so much easier. Okay, so yeah, so if I talk about anything in the realms of health and you feel like that really resonates, please follow up with a doctor. If I talk about anything in the realms of legal and you feel like that resonates, please follow up with a lawyer. Just be responsible with the energy and with the information. And I suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on both of my platforms. I have this platform, and on my other platform, it is called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. I do readings over there, just more with like oracle cards, which I have a lot of decks. And so, yeah, we're working to getting to 1,000 subscribers over there. So then on that platform, when you guys have questions, you can just send me a $20 super chat over there. So that is what we are working towards. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for your love. Okay. No bullying me, no bullying anybody in the chat, and no bullying anybody in the comments. If you do that, you'll be removed from the channel and reported for harassment and bullying. So before we get into the reading, I'm going to talk about 2 books that are life-changing. Okay. The links to these books are in the description box below. So when people ask me, oh, how do you do what you do? This is how I do what I do. I've always been gifted, but I will tell you guys, like growing up, having abilities, I felt like I was trapped in the psychic realm, being totally a victim to all of these experiences that were going on around me that I didn't know how to describe and I didn't know how to like bring words to. And I was just frightened all the time. So when I gained access to this book and the knowledge within it, I was able to establish a genuine connection with the Most High so that, you know, my higher self, because everyone's higher self is God, so that I could rise above the things that I was experiencing that I didn't understand and that were just frightening to me. So yeah. So I'm going to talk about the 3. I mean, there's so many techniques in this book, but there are 3 that are like that I use every day. So you are God having this experience, not an extension or a part of. You are God not existing in the fullness, but God no less. You can look at yourself as like the microcosm of God or a microcosm. Okay, so this, it teaches you how to meditate, but the most life-changing technique out of this book that I use every day is called the God technique, which raises you out of the perspective of your ego so that you can be looking out through the eyes of your higher self, aka God, so you can see things as they actually are. When I first started doing that technique, the gap of consciousness between me and my higher self was like freaking huge. The more that I'd use the technique, that gap gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, which is beautiful. Okay, it's beautiful because it just makes it easier for me to like connect with my higher self, God, which is the love, joy, compassion, and peace and mercy of the world. So that is how you raise up yourself above any type of demon entity. Like I said, I felt trapped in the psychic realm. I grew up in religion. I grew up going to Catholic school and going to church all of the time, and none of the prayers, none of any of it ever did anything to help me. And I'm not discrediting religion. I'm just telling you how I got to where I'm at now. Okay. And so I've always been psychic, spent my time out in the yard playing with the fairies rather than other people, you know, and walked around talking to myself. Well, it looked like I was talking to myself, but I wasn't actually talking to myself. And I always connected with animals greater than people. Okay. And so yeah, it was very difficult, like going to church and trying to rely on religion and all of that to deal with what I was dealing with, and it didn't. None of it ever worked. So like I said, I'm not discrediting religion. I'm just telling you how I got to where I'm at. So the mind technique is a game changer. It's a consciousness shifter, and it allows you to rise above whatever is going on. And then when you're looking out through the eyes of God and you're looking at through the lens of unconditional love, joy, peace, and compassion and mercy, you're able to see things as they actually are, not as you thought that they were. So the second technique in this book is a technique that you will see me use all of the time. It's called the joy versus anger technique. Whenever I'm asking yes and no questions, why I suggest that you get this book and use the techniques in this book is because for me, I've always had my gifts. They've always worked the way that they work, right? But then I didn't have the ability to ask yes and no questions like growing up. And so the joy versus anger technique works with your clairsentience. So you don't have to be psychic to use these techniques. And so when you see me asking questions in the reading, like I'm not asking you the question, I'm asking myself the question and my higher self, God. And then I get an immediate response back. Why that's so important and powerful is that before I would have to try to say a prayer, look for an angel number, look for a sign, whatever else, like to figure out what the answer was. Now that I can ask questions and be more divinely led, like, should I go here? Should I be with this person? Should I do this? Now that I can do that, I don't really run into problems unless one, I forget to ask, which does happen every once in a while. I'm human, I'm not perfect. And then, you know, but the more that we do the God technique and tap into our higher selves, the more perfect we will become. But will we be 100% perfect? I don't know. Like, all we can do is try to become better people than we were yesterday. So the joy versus anger technique has given me the ability to take control of my decisions and my life and guide me towards the things that are in alignment with love, joy, and peace, aka my higher self. The third technique is extremely useful, you guys, because a lot of people, they are creating their own, everybody's creating their own reality with their thoughts and their beliefs, whether they believe it or not. Okay. And so the mind technique, where the joy versus anger technique is the biggest intuitive application in this book, the mind technique is of the same importance level because it gives you the ability to start using your mind like the tool that it is, rather than your mind just using you like a tool. And so I will answer your question in 1 second. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful thing, like being able to get rid of the thoughts and beliefs and question the mental baggage that you're dragging around that's influencing the reality you're creating. That's a very powerful thing. When you start using the mind technique, you start to shed layers of belief systems and stuff like that and patterns that were continuing to go on. And so this is like the cheat code to being able to create your own reality and tap into your own God, higher self power and use that. Okay, so the link to that's in the description box below. I suggest that everybody that is on a fast track spiritual journey gets that book and starts using the techniques. The second book I'm going to talk about is the book that I've written. It's called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And this has different tarot card spreads for the major arcana cards, which are, now I suggest that you get the original. I've written this book off of the original Rider-Waite, Riderwaite deck. So when you're getting this book, you'll want to order this deck. I would go ahead and type in the search bar, original Rider-Waite, Riderwaite deck with description on cards. Why do I say that? Because it is so much easier to be able to look at the card and see just instead of having to go to a separate booklet and reading the definition of the card, looking at the card, it'll help you to memorize it as well. But it just helps you to read it and to understand what it's saying in such a better way than having to look through a separate book. So, okay, so this book starts out with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread that has 2 card positions that you will pull for each of the zodiac positions. And one of those cards will be your south node, where your ego's at, and one will be your north node, where your destiny is at. And then the spell that goes along with that. And again, these are spells you do with God and the Holy Spirit. They're little manifestation techniques that I have done all of these things in this book. And so I do know that it works. But yeah, it helps you to step into your own destiny. And it helps you to integrate the energies of the zodiac so you can become a more balanced person and start adopting the traits that other zodiac signs have that are good traits. Like Libra would be like very just, able to balance their energy, that type of thing. Taurus would be very good at work. When you can start adopting these other traits, you know, it makes you a more well-versed, balanced individual. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit from this. I think I'm going to read from the full. So yeah, for each of the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions, there is a tarot card spread. And for everything that's on the major arcana card, there will be a tarot card position for. So you do a deep dive into the interpretation of the tarot. All of the other, and this book will teach you how to read cards for yourself and for other people. And so all of the other tarot decks that exist come off of the original Rider-Waite deck. And so if you learn the original Rider-Waite deck, like just the original, you can go to any other tarot like interpretation. Like this deck right here is the Twin Flame Tarot, okay? And it's got like limited words and pictures on it. But you can go to any other specialty deck and know the underlying meaning of the cards. So when they give their spin on it, you can take into consideration that you already know what the actual meaning of that card is. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to read position. I'm going to read from the full tarot card spread. I'm going to read position 15, 16, and 17. So position 15, the actor or the actress. In what ways are you acting in your life? Are you pretending to do or being anything that you are not? However, you fit into a greater whole of humanity. Oh, how you fit into the greater whole of humanity may be revealed here. This position will give insight into the other actors, actresses, and roles that people are playing in your life. What is the script that is being written for your life? If there are any interactions with bigger players, that can be shown to you here. Position 16, the court, the play. This represents the audience who is watching everything play out. In what ways do you watch your thoughts and beliefs play out in life? How do you become neutral to your own performance? The card that you pull for this position may give you a bigger view of who your audience is and what the play is about. How well do you get along with others? Do you share your free spirit with those in your life? Who are you performing for will be shown to you here. Position 17, the prankster. This card position will show to you how others view you when they feel that they can look down their nose at you. How are others pranking you? Who is hoodwinking you at this time? Do you play the prankster role in other people's lives? Your personal intimacy may be shown to you here, along with how you interact with others. If someone is playing a prank on you, that may come through the card pull for this position. Who is playing the prankster for you? Do you enjoy watching others get punked? Okay, so you guys are kind of getting the full tarot magic spell is to evoke Iwas, the great fool of Celtic legend, whose insane words have been taken for oracles and prophecies. The Magician's tarot card spread and spells to manifest your own magic. The Empress is for beauty and personal self-development. The Emperor is to obtain powers. The Strength is to become stronger. The Lovers is to draw love in. The Chariot is to remove obstacles. The Wheel of Fortune is to get good fortune. The Temperance is to manifest with Archangel Michael. The Star is to get a wish granted. And then in the back of the book, there is a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when the different card combinations come out together. So I'm going to read a little bit from the Fool. Okay. When you pull the Fool tarot card, it could mean that either you or the person that you're reading for is about to go through a spiritual journey through the process of spiritual awakening. It can also be interpreted as someone who is unaware of themselves. They could be acting foolish. The Fool stands at the edge of the cliff, but does not fall off of it because the Fool has allowed the Most High in the universe to order his steps. When the Fool comes out before the Lover's tarot card, it could imply that someone is falling head over heels, foolishly in love with another person. When the Fool comes out before the Death tarot card, it could show you that someone's foolishness could literally kill them or bring about endings for them. If the Fool comes out before or after the World tarot card, it could mean that someone is leading the world in a foolish way. When the Fool comes out before or after the Hangman tarot card, it means that the person in question is self-sabotaging their life for foolish reasons. If the Fool comes out before or after the Chariot tarot card, it translates to someone fooling or attempting to trick or deceive the authorities or the police in some form of way. When the Fool comes out before the Last Judgment tarot card, it means that one's foolish behavior has led them to being up under serious judgment from the Most High God. And it just keeps going and going and going. But you guys get the gist. The link to this book, and you can do the tarot card spreads and the spells in this book as many times as you want. You're going to get new information, and it's going to help you move beyond self-doubt, and it'll help you to learn to read cards for yourself and for others. So check this book out, you guys. It's called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. The other book is The Truth of God by Michael Steadman. The links to these books are in the description box below. Okay, so happy Valentine's Day, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Phoenix Empress's question. Why did my soul choose to awaken my psychic abilities in this lifetime? What a good question. I love these questions that you have. Okay, well, first of all, it's not just this lifetime, but in this lifetime, it has to do with you helping the planet ascend and you going through an ascension. And I feel like for you to do this, you need to know about your gifts and abilities. Okay. And I also feel like, basically for you to go through a rapid ascension and for you to help the planet ascend, you need to be able to tap into your psychic abilities and your power. I feel like you're a trusted individual. This is one reason why God gave you the gifts that you have. And not only that, you're here to impact the world in a very unique way. It could be through art. It could be through your connection to animals. It could be through shamanism. There's so many different ways that you can use your abilities. And so that'll be up to you how you want to use them. But why you have them, because I do get that you've possessed these gifts in other lifetimes, but why you have them right now is because the world needs them. The world needs you, and not to put pressure on you, but the world does need you to use your abilities to help the planet in whatever type of way. And I feel like this is where your angels are wanting you to understand is the reason that you have these powers and these abilities. It's not by it's not by accident. You chose to incarnate into the bloodline that you did because it gave you the abilities that you've had in other lifetimes. I also get that you're here to be a generational curse breaker. And that's something that your ancestry has really needed. And I also get that you teaching other people how to heal or counseling them. And I do get counseling, like counseling them, that's sharing your life, sharing your gifts, and sharing your unique perspective. Because I do feel like, in other lifetimes, people would come to you for advice and support. And you've always been somebody who offers that support, but you also are somebody that's very wise to the bullshit. So when people come in being like, oh, help me, but they don't want to help themselves, you're going to pick up on that. And so some people, they may get offended when you tell them about themselves. Like when people come to you and they want you to just fix it for them, like you can't make decisions for other people. You can just try to guide them towards going within and tapping into their own knowledge and going towards the light. But as far as like when people, yeah, you may have to tell some people about themselves, like, hey, you're causing this situation yourself. Or, hey, the way that you're thinking about this is causing you to self-destruct, basically. And some people might be upset about because, they're coming to you for support. But again, you'll be able to pick up on who's trying to trauma dump on you and who's actually going to take your advice seriously and follow through with it. And I feel like the people that are going to take you seriously and follow through with it, those are the people that you're meant to help. The people that just want you to try to put a Band-Aid on something or fix something temporarily, but they don't want to acknowledge that they're the ones that have to go within and heal. Those are people that you can only do so much for. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So don't feel bad, don't feel bad when people don't take your advice and they run into trouble. And don't try to bail them out of trouble when they've intentionally not listened to your advice and have led themselves into trouble. That's one thing that I used to get so irritated with my clients when they would not listen. And I'd be like, dude, I told you like what the answer was. Like that was all you had to do was avoid this person or whatever. But that was me getting too involved with the healing of the other person. Sometimes people have to make mistakes over and over again before they can get it right. And who are we to judge when it's enough of that mistake? You know what I mean? That's kind of on them. So don't take responsibility for the actions of other people. When people come to ask you for assistance, say what you feel. But also, if you pick up on information that person could be full of shit, maybe don't be because I do get that you can be very confrontational with people because you're very honest, you're very truthful. Like the other psychic that I work with does not sugarcoat shit. They get straight to the point. You know what I mean? To the point where it could be hurtful. But again, anybody that's going to be asking you for assistance or wanting you to listen to them and not wanting to take any type of criticism or any type of advice that you give, those are people that are wasting your time. And so I feel like you figuring that out is a big thing because I do feel like people from the past wanted to waste your time. So we're going to work with the Healing Energy Oracle because that's what I get that you're here to do, is to help people heal, to help the planet heal, and, to expand on your gifts and abilities and share them. Shining light. This is what you're here to do, is to shine your light, literally, for other people. I forgot to set the timer. So it says, my desire to improve myself transforms fear into strength. I raise my thoughts above doubt and find faith in the goodness of the universe. I love and accept myself as a soul, and I discover the light that dwells within me. Yeah, that's basically what you're already doing, is discovering that life. The calm. Yeah. And then remaining calm, because there may be people that want to trigger you, but I can guarantee that you are so emotionally mature that anybody wanting to trigger you at this point, they're going to have to go above and beyond. You know what I mean? And you can, and don't expect too much out of yourself. If you do respond back to somebody triggering you, just try that, because the universe will always bring back annoying people to trigger. I mean, I'm not going to say they're always going to bring back, but until you get the lesson of how to be non-reactive, the universe will continue to bring in situations that could trigger you. So when you can remain calm, that's when those lessons will stop coming in. Like once the universe goes, okay, she's got it, she's figured it out, now we don't need to bring in the same circumstance anymore. And when you release whatever the beliefs were that brought in that circumstance, that also helps. So it says, I breathe, live, and grow the light within me. I do one thing at a time and focus on the present moment. I cast off my doubts, all fear dissipates, and I find peace within my being. Yeah. So staying calm in the sight of being triggered or feeling triggered, and just know that a trigger is not a negative thing. It may feel not good. It may not feel good to be triggered. Like when people start to judge me and other people, I get kind of triggered, but I'm working on that. And so even though it's uncomfortable and it doesn't feel good, that trigger is just there showing me that there is something still within myself that I need to work on and heal. And then just look at it like that. Be completely neutral to it and look at it only as, okay, it just means that I need to heal a little bit more in this certain area, and not being hard on yourself, okay, for reacting. Serenity. You know that serenity prayer that is in AA? It's like, I accept the things that I cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference. That's part of it. I know there's more to it than that, but that's what I'm getting here, is like you being able to accept the things that you cannot change in your life and in the lives of others, and the wisdom to know the difference between what you do have control over and what you don't. Anything in your reality, you've got control over. And so by clearing your thoughts and beliefs and healing, you'll be able to attain this energy of serenity. I think it's very interesting that these cards look very similar. The color on them is almost exactly the same. So that's interesting. Calm and serenity. So it says, through love, release, and inner work, I know peace. I have a gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. Yeah, because literally, you're here to shine your light to other people so that they can awaken, like literally. And so you're going to be triggered by people who are asleep, for a certain amount of time. And the people that are asleep or up under spell work, we really cannot judge those people. We shouldn't, I should say, judge those people because they are not aware of themselves. And so until they can become aware of themselves, we can't hold people responsible for things that they don't know about. And I also get that, you're a truth speaker. That's part of you shining your light and spreading the light around. Joy. Yeah, you're here to have a good time. You're here to experience joy. And I feel like in any area of your life where you don't feel that there's peace, that's what needs to be healed, because joy comes through having peace in your life. It says, like a child, I discover joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Yeah, don't think that your happiness is going to be in a new car, a new home, this, okay? It's going to be with you tapping into the energy of joy. A good exercise that you can do, and I think it is in the truth of God, but it's like picking something that makes you feel very joyful and blissful and focusing on that. You could even create like a vision board around it, or write down on a list of paper or a piece of paper a list of all the things that brings you joy. Go through and spend time connecting with each one, and then allow that joy to just continue to expand, because the more that you focus on it, the more it's going to come into your experience. It says even the smallest joy is a great source of light, literally. And I get that you're a very grateful person, and this has saved you from having to go through a lot of negative karma involving other people. And I also get that you show a lot of grace and mercy to people, even when they don't deserve it. And you're getting like basically the nod of approval for that. But you're also being told, when people show you who they are, believe them. Okay. Inner strength. Interesting. And that gives me like root chakra vibes. So inner strength, nothing moves me from my path to the light because I have complete confidence in myself. Believe in your abilities and what you receive, because it is accurate. I realize my innate qualities and abilities and know that with God, I can do anything. All the power I need is within me. Absolutely. That's tapping into that inner strength and actually using it. The voice of the heart. I silence the fear in me and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me on the path of light. Yeah, when you listen to your heart, you're never led astray. It's just sometimes the mind is so loud and like overwhelming with its like fears and its baggage. That's why doing the mind technique is so important. That sometimes that's all we've learned to tune into, I should say. You should look at like this is like tuning a frequency. So when you're tuned into what the mind is doing with its mental chatter all of the time, and we are not our thoughts, okay? But just knowing that you can stop tuning your focus into what your mind is saying and tune it into what your heart is saying, and that's going to be a different communication. Yeah, my intuition leads me on the path of light. That's listening to yourself. Finding that inner voice that you have and being like, okay, this is the voice of reason, where whatever the other thoughts were saying was the voice of fear. Courage. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and stand tall before the tests of life. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am a being of new life. I love that. And being courageous, you are very courageous. I feel like when the universe is like wanting you to step up, you're not afraid to do that. But I also get that you're somebody that maybe you don't always like the attention to be on you. I would just get past that, because for a certain amount of time, the attention is supposed to be on you. So I would let that go, that feeling of like not wanting to be, in the limelight. One step at a time. I see the mountain ahead and dedicate myself to taking one small step at a time. I make progress by staying focused on the present moment, the current task. Thus, I regain my ease of living. And that's just taking things one step at a time. Sometimes that's all we can do. If, for example, let's say you've got a huge project. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that the Reiki session helped you. Yeah, let's say you've got a big project that you're working towards. If you were to break it down, I would break it down into the smallest sections possible and go, okay, what is the next thing that I need to do to achieve this balance, this experience, this reaction? What is it that I need to do? And then breaking that down to one small step at a time, because look, it's going to bring you towards success. And I feel like this success is something that as long as you just follow your heart, you're going to attain it. You already have it, actually. It says, I grow and thrive in the universe. I discover the purity of my heart and the higher wisdom that guides me towards victory. I direct my thoughts towards clarity and nurture wisdom, love and goodness within me. I am free now and I succeed in my life. Yeah, because this is your path of being successful. Oh, I love this. Balance. I do get that you are a very balanced person. It takes a lot to throw you out of balance. It says, I find a balance between each sphere of my life. I am the master of my daily life. I make time to nourish the spiritual and the physical. I bring love to my world by fulfilling the needs of my body and my soul. I love that. I love that. So yeah, success is related to balance, how well you can balance things. And that could be, working with feng shui. It could be working with meditation. It could be grounding your energy. However it is that you achieve balance, I would continue working with that as a modality. Choice. I choose serenity, light, and positive energy. No matter what I go through, I choose happiness. I rise above fear and direct my thoughts to God. Yes, because you do have it's your choice. Like what you want to do from here forward is going to be your choice. I do feel like, you know, just like how I explain how destiny is something where we'll end up, like no matter what. But you could go down a pathway that takes a little bit longer, or you could go down a pathway that doesn't take as long. It's going to be up to you. So yeah, pay attention to your choices at this time. Release. I stop fighting my fears and the hardships of life. I control my thoughts, live in the present moment, and accept each stage of life. I work on what I have power over and put into God's hands what I can't change. That's the same thing as the serenity prayer, like putting into the hands of God what we can't change. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. It says that I trust that everything will work out for the best. That would be an affirmation. I would just be like everything is always working out for me, and everything is happening for my highest and best good. It's happening for me, to help me, to assist me. And that's the power of belief. So release and believe, that's saying something right there. Like seriously, it could be beliefs that you just need to release. It says, I believe in myself, the beauty of life, and the goodness of God. Thus I have the power to fulfill my dreams. The will of the Almighty supports me. My life is showered in divine light, and my heart opens to the power of the universe. I love that. I love that. Transformation. Through releasing beliefs, you will go through a transformation. And that's what I experience all of the time, is like things transforming around me and in my reality. It says, I'm constantly evolving. I improve inwardly by working on my weaknesses and refining my strengths. Life ensures I'm presented with situations that will help me to learn and grow. I need to turn the fan on. like it's nice for a minute without the fan, but then now I need that moving air. So it says that I am aware of my progress and I open my wings to the light. So yeah, being okay with transforming, and transformation just means change. And so you can look at transformation like turning into a butterfly and evolving. And you can also look at transformation as, you know, releasing the parts of yourself that are just no longer accurate, the viewpoints of yourself, the path to light. I love it. That looks like ascension right there. A path to light. I make the conscious choice to move towards the light one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strengths by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. Yeah, and this is going to be easier for you to do as time goes on. Even if you feel, and that's why becoming neutral to things is going to be such a blessing, so that you can just give that unconditional love and grace to everything, but then at the same time still have your boundaries standing firm, you know? Yes, that's exactly it. You're not responsible. Yeah, you're not responsible for other people. You're only responsible for your own thoughts and beliefs. Inner beauty. I like this picture. It says, I open the eyes of my heart and direct my gaze to the light within every being. Personality and physical appearance are an image of man. Beauty and goodness are in the image of God, which is completely true. Okay. So focusing on your inner beauty, that's going to really help. Looking out through the eyes of like rose-colored glasses so you can see things. Well, looking out through the eyes of God, you're going to be able to see the beauty in all things. A new opening. Look at that. And I get that this is like a spiritual opening, like a consciousness expansion. Interesting. When one door closes, I am confident another will open. That is like just endings and beginnings. Like when one thing ends, another will begin. And it will be for my betterment. Like I was saying, everything's always working out for me. Everything is always working out for my highest and best good. And everything is, it may be happening to me, but it's happening for my benefit, for my betterment. I accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunities and learning that they present to me. Serenity comes from within. So that's twice now it's talked about serenity. And then there was 2 times it talked about the serenity prayer. Positive thinking. I do feel like this is what you're working on, and it's going to lead you towards, you know, having a new mindset. And that new mindset is going to bring about so many blissful, joyful experiences. It says, my life is full of small patches of light. I direct my thoughts to that which brings me well-being. I place what is weighty for me into the hands of the universe, especially because you're so empathic. You might want to just be like, okay, all of this extra stuff that's not mine, I'm giving that to the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens in my being and I find serenity. Me, because you are serenity. I don't think I've ever seen this card before in this deck. It says, I allow serenity. Again, serenity. Wow. So that should be like the focus. I would say it just keeps coming out like that. Literally, serenity, serenity, serenity. It's like multiple times. It says, the love that I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to honor and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. So yeah, positive thinking, it's all up to you. You're going to be able to do this though. And really adopt a new optimistic outlook. Action. I love that. My divine action incites love and harmony. I'm aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart. My desire to manifest light transforms tests into growth. Tests came out twice. So if you are feeling like you're being tested, again, you've passed the test. Yeah, just keep moving towards your highest and best good. It says challenge into opportunity. Don't look at challenges as like, I'm hearing don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Don't look at challenges as like something that you have to overcome. Look at it as an opportunity for you to change and to transform any type of fear into love. And taking that action by resolving the things from the past that you've thought or believed or felt. I mean, that's all that Spirit can really ask of you to do. By you doing this yourself, you may want to journal. I don't know if you journal, but that may be very, very healing for you to do. And then working with affirmations. So I will tell you that if you're trying to affirm something that you don't believe in, sometimes saying the words gets your mind moving in the right direction, but also accompany it with the mind technique. So you can be like, okay, any thoughts and beliefs that are counteractive to this affirmation that I'm saying, I'm questioning those. Are they for my highest and best good? And then release those. Because I get that, you know, taking action when it comes to positive thinking could be you writing a list of affirmations and following that. And it could be you, especially like, because affirmations, people will start to say them and it'll be like, oh, I don't believe it at first. That's okay. Just keep affirming it. The more that you affirm it, the more that it moves from being head knowledge to being heart knowledge, and then you integrate it. And so it's okay to affirm, you know, whatever I used to have a whiteboard in the other place I lived that was on the wall, and I would be writing down like affirmations on it, and I would just leave that up there for a while until the affirmation came true, and then I would erase it and I would write a different one. So that may be something that you want to look into. Elevation. Yes, I love it, you guys. This is beautiful, Phoenix Empress. I free myself from fear. How many times is it going to talk about that? So yeah, there could be a lot with just fear going on. It says, and trust in the universe. I direct my thoughts to the beauty inside and around me. I use my spiritual strengths and knowledge to create light. I rise above all doubts. You being able to rise above all triggers, all doubts, all fears, that is the God technique. That's being able to rise above vibrationally. I feel like it's going to take a little bit of action for you to do that, just because when we get into a pattern of responding or reacting a certain type of way, it can be like, okay, like just it becomes on autopilot. But I feel like the more that you take yourself off autopilot and you start taking the wheel into your own hands, the easier it's going to be for you to rise above whatever it is that you felt was a fear, a blockage, or a belief. But yeah, I get that you're here to use your gifts and abilities to heal yourself and to help the planet because it's needed. And you've done this more than one time. Just shining your light. This is something you've done many, many lifetimes. So I feel like going within and being like, okay, what can I do right now to heal? Asking those questions, you're going to be shown what the answer is. I also get that you don't need to be afraid of anything because the fear came out multiple times. You're a very strong person. What do you need to fear? I don't see anything that you need to be afraid of. Okay. I wouldn't be afraid of making the same mistake more than once because you learn from situations. I also would not be afraid of other people because you've been through so much. Just remember how far you've come and how much you've actually gone through. Okay. Yes, I was answering Phoenix Empress's question, but I feel like a lot of that could apply to the majority of you. So if anybody else has any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, but I'm going to get into the collective read. So I get that you guys, well, first of all, I get that somebody's love spell backfired. Surprise, surprise. I mean, I'm not surprised with that, but this person probably is. I also get that, like, you don't have to self-sacrifice your peace to be in a relationship. If you bring peace into your relationship with yourself, whoever you pull into your reality, that person will also be of peace. And again, the universe wants to give you every spectrum of experience from like, oh, you're so welcome, Phoenix Empress, and I love you so much. But yeah, the universe wants to give you every spectrum of experience so that you can understand the polarity of things from, and I use the 1 to 10 method in the truth of God, 1 being the worst compatible or the lowest. I won't say the worst. 10 being the best, the highest compatibility. You know, if you have a wall up, and walls get put up like when we go, okay, whoa, that really hurt. I don't want to go through that again. So I'm going to put a wall up. I'm going to keep people out. Well, when you put that wall up, you know, you're intending to literally put up something that keeps you separate from being able to receive. So then you forget that that wall is up. And this is what happens to a lot of people. And so that wall will only allow in the lower compatible situations, you know, but where the universe wants to give you a full compatibility of highs, mids, and lows of experiences, the only thing with a wall up that will get through are the lowest vibrational experiences, because you're basically saying, I'm not open to receive. And so knowing that, you can go, okay, if I have put up a wall in my life, because the way that I look at heart walls, which is what they're called, and when somebody puts up a heart wall, it does not just, they forget that they put it up and they forget that they need to take it down. Secondly, it causes the emotions and the pain that you went through that caused you to put that wall up to be stuck within you. So you can't really heal without taking the wall down to release it. And then third of all, the wall, even if you put it up in the aspect of love, the wall is going to block everything in your life. It's going to block, because you're saying you're not open to receiving. Okay. And so it'll block your job. It'll block, you know, love. It'll block, you know, a lot of different things. And so you only get the low end of the spectrum of experiences, which nobody wants to continue to have that. So we just ask that if there's any heart walls that are up, we retract our statement of, oh, we need to keep that wall up, and we allow that to come down so that we can tap into, you know, our greatest potential and receive what God has for us. I also get that the energy of Cupid, I can feel it swirling around my head right now. So there could be, you guys could become increasingly attracted to somebody. I feel like some of you guys, there could be somebody that's becoming increasingly attracted to you. 10 of Swords, interesting. Now, why is that popping out? That's not even your energy. What is that about? Okay, that could be about the person that tried to bewitch you. This person's home life is being interrupted. Yeah, somebody cannot stop thinking about you. My goodness. What? This person's like, what did they do to me? Like, you didn't do anything to this person. I wouldn't take it personal, not at all. When people act out against you and try to like manipulate you, don't take that personal, okay? Please don't, because it's really more about them than it is about you. But just know that there's something within you that drew that experience in. And sometimes it could just be karma from another lifetime that drew this person in. And when I look at like my previous lifetimes before this one, I was like playing a Loki Lucifer energy. I caused a lot of fucking mischief and a lot of problems. And that's something that I've had to work through the karma in this lifetime. Like literally, this is how I've completely churned my direction around in life. And now I avoid tragedies and I'm divinely led. But that wasn't always, in my pre-existing lifetimes. Well, I just was rebellious, I guess I should say. But always still obedient to God, my higher self. And I feel like it doesn't matter who you've been in the past. It doesn't matter what you've done. You have the power to turn everything around. And there's no case that's beyond saving. Okay, people need to understand that their limited view of like judgment and God is not accurate. Okay, and so like I said, God is a timeless energy. It will sit around and wait for every last blade of grass and every last part of itself, every particle of consciousness to turn towards God, which is your higher self, which is God. Okay, and so I feel like first of all, be forgiving to yourself. Like, don't judge yourself. Any lifetime where you didn't know that your higher self was God and that you had that connection to go within and access, okay, you got to show grace and mercy to yourself for that. And I feel like this person, they want you to be like judgmental of yourself. Like, this is the type of person that's like, let me try to sneak into the Akashic records again. They're going to get slapped out for that, which is why they're in the Ten of Swords. And let me try to get some good dirt. Since I can't find dirt on this person in the physical world that's worth a shit, let me try and get some spiritual dirt on them. When you acknowledge who you've been and the roles that you've played for others, what is anybody going to do about that? Again, you're not going to be punished. Like, the only way that you'll be punished, and it's not being punished, like I said, I've had to confront the many different situations that I caused when I was being in Loki's position, but I have to also be very gracious with that because of the Loki situation, basically. And so, yeah, I had to come face to face with Balder, and that was difficult. Okay. And with a whole bunch of the other Aesir and stuff that are other people that I've interacted with. And so, yeah, you just got to show grace and mercy to yourself and know that, anything that anybody wants to hold over your head about you in the past, they can't really do that. The fact that you're making different choices now shows a whole lot. And I feel like the church really weaponized information. They weaponized shit. They really did. They demonized everything and weaponized it. And that's okay. But don't demonize yourself or think that you can't trust yourself or whatever this is, okay? And just know that if there was trouble you caused in a past life, like from my own experience, I've had to deal with that shit in this lifetime. But I've worked through it. And so I still will get triggered every once in a while, but I can take all of the good things from having those experiences and apply them to my life now, which I think is probably the blessing that comes from it. Queen of Swords, you cut this person off because you knew that they were going to, try to drag you wherever they're going, and you don't want to go where these people are going. Seriously. You know that these people are not going the right way. Like, you're like, I'm sorry, sir, ma'am. I'm not going to make a brick road that leads straight to hell. Like, that's not what I'm about. I'm here to ascend. I descended into the third dimension so I could ascend back to my higher self. And the more that you acknowledge the fact that it was not a mistake to cut these people off, the fact that it's not a mistake to cut cords, there is no reason in any type of way that a cord should be existing. It is not healthy. You can be still connected to people that you love without having a cord. A cord is a negative connection. It's just unnecessary. Ace of Swords, this is what I'm talking about. You probably cut cords with these people. I also get that. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. I also get that this divine protection that you have is about you protecting your intellectual property. This other person, they want to get close to you to find out what your personal testimony is so that they can write a book about it. The fuck? No. So that, and this person would misrepresent you. This is why, like, I have enough from working at the metaphysical store to doing these readings. I've have more than enough content to create probably an entire supernatural series, just like the supernatural series, probably like 12 fucking seasons of the shit. And I remember everything that happened. And so, you know, don't let some other person dictate what your testimony is, what your story is, okay? They don't have access to the Akashic records like they think they do. Anybody that's going to try to access somebody else's Akashic records without that person and that person's ancestors and spirit guides' permission is stupid, because they're going to get slapped out for that. And not only that, they won't get the truthful information. And this is what I feel like has happened. This person is being 10 of swords because they tried to act on information that they thought was your information, finding out that the fuck? No, it was false information that they got fed. And this is why they were fed false information, because they were going to try to use something against you to like get you punished or crucified or whatever. And like, God is so compassionate, gracious, patient, kind. Like, you guys don't even understand. And to me, it still blows my mind, because like from our limited viewpoint, we can only like experience things from what we believe, and the energy of God goes beyond belief. It's beyond anything that we can even describe that's worldly. And I feel like your life mission has become very clear to you. And this person, they don't know what they're here to do. They think that they're a victim and a martyr to everything. It's like, nobody told this person to self-sacrifice their shit. Nobody told this person to give their last $5 to a homeless person on the street. This person thinks that doing certain things are going to get them put in a position, like this person only will be charitable and kind to receive a blessing. And they don't understand that that's not how you get blessings. Trying to sneak into somebody else's records to crucify them and use things against them, that is an abuse of spiritual law. Okay. And this person is in the 9 of Swords about it. They're literally grieving over this shit. I'm serious. These people feel stupid. Not only is their home life interrupted, this person has 10 fucking swords in their back. Like, what is that? Seriously. And I really want somebody I want this person to explain rationally how you had anything to do with the swords being put in their back. You did not stab this person in the back. You didn't betray them. You just didn't allow them to have access to you. You closed your door to them. You didn't allow them to come in, because this person was fishing for information so that they could try to duplicate off of you and feed off of you. Okay. But you're too strong for this. Your strength comes from God. It's so funny that they'll be looking for dirt on you, but not be looking to see what your accomplishments are, what you've already completed as divine life work. Like, you've got to be joking. That is so retarded. Like, they don't even look to see if you're protected. Like, duh, your records are protected. And I feel like when you get information about yourself, write it down, but don't share it with people right away. You know, make sure that you have, if you're writing a book about your testimony, make sure you have copyright and stuff like that. The Lovers, because part of your divine life purpose does have to do with the love union. And I feel like you could be writing something that has to do with love. You know, the Cupid energy swirling above my head, it's a very protective energy. These people that are trying to get Cupid to shoot you with an arrow so you fall madly in love with them, Cupid's not going to do no shit like that. You don't even have to worry about that. I'm serious. Do you think Cupid just goes around answering people's like, oh yeah, you want me to shoot that person and take them off their path? Like, you're joking, right? Stop it with the dumb shit. Just know that when you have an attraction to someone, it's going to be natural. And there's nothing that these people can do about that. They're not sleeping. For whatever reason, these people are trying to keep you from sleeping. I would pray against that. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, these people are losing their finances. This is probably why they're so upset, because they're not able to come in and get you to invest in them. That's literally what I'm getting. They're losing their financial stability. They had a really dumbass idea here. Really dumbass idea when it came to how they were going to take everything from you. And they thought that they were just going to bend the spiritual world to their whims without any consequences. First of all, the spiritual world does not clap back like that to these people. And secondly, that's delusional thinking. These people think that they're much more important than they actually are. I also get that, you know, you're willing to invest in a love relationship that's equally yoked. Anybody that's going to be showing up as a lesser, and I'm not saying that some people are better than others, but I am saying, like, just the way that it shows up in tarot. You know, you're showing up a Queen of Swords, somebody who's been hurt, who's gone through a lot of situations, but you're able to laugh at the things from the past, which humor is a healing. It's healing. And then you also are somebody that it gets real quick to cut people off when you feel like they're abusing their access to you. And that's what this person, that's what they want to do. And they may say that they love you or whatever, but no, they don't. If this person really loved you, they wouldn't be trying to come in and cause you money issues. Wheel of Fortune, because they see you over here with the Wheel of Fortune, being in your destiny, getting to spin your own wheel and being fortunate, being blessed. Yeah, they see you having success. And they're like, how come this person gained success after I'm out of the picture? Because I'll tell you why. Because if this person was still in, you had an open door to them in your life, they would have taken this Wheel of Fortune from you. They would have taken your ability to love yourself from you. That's what this person wanted to do. That's what they still want to do. Shit. But yeah, they would have found a way to try to strip a blessing that God, because again, attempt, that's all they can do. But they would have tried to attempt to strip a blessing that God gave you. Okay. And that's why you were not in the Wheel of Fortune when you had an open door to this person. And they don't understand that. Okay. Because from their viewpoint, they just see you being in the Wheel of Fortune forever. And they're misinterpreting the fact that you have had to go through a bunch of trials, tribulations, tests, and traumas to get to where you're at. They're looking way past that. This person is so ungrateful for their life. They're like, that person has had it so easy and you have not had it easy. It's just this person doesn't know how to explain that you're loved by God, the Ace of Cups. You have support from the Holy Spirit. It talks about the beginning of a great love. Follow your heart and your instincts. Let your guard down and open your heart. Meeting up with a soulmate. This person wants so desperately to be the one that you fall in love with. And no, you already put your sword up to them, which means you defended yourself and you did everything that you needed to do to cut them out of your energy. This is why you're being blessed. If you still had a door open to this stupid person, you would not be being blessed in the way that you are. I mean, you'd still be blessed, but the way that God is about to bless you and that you're being blessed is a way that nobody can stop. Nobody can take that away from you. King of Cups. So you guys could be very wise counsels. Okay, you could be people that you could also have access to somebody, like a mentor, a teacher, a parent that also teaches you things when it comes to love life and when it comes to life in general. I feel like you're always going to have access to God, which is like, you know, the ultimate King of Cups energy. You're always going to have access to the divine realm. So when it comes to you not knowing what to do, I get that you guys do. You give wise advice to others as well. And sometimes you just need to follow your own advice, you know. The Hierophant, interesting. The Hierophant could be a religion, secret society, a cult, a coven, you know, group of people. It's definitely a group of people, but it could also be the Most High showing its hand. I get that this is a group of people that were expecting you to bend to their authority. Excuse me. These people did not take the moral path. And they wanted to martyr you. Not happening. I also get that these people are very interested in what you're doing with your life for whatever reason. Maybe they see you as being a real prophet. I just feel like they need to mind their own business because you don't really have anything to do with this religious group or organization. You're not bad-mouthing them. You're not saying, you know, if this is like the Illuminati, you're not fighting against them. You don't want anything to do with these people, which is your right as a human, as a person with human rights. The Three of Pentacles, you have a whole collaboration and a community of people that need to hear your guidance and they need your assistance. So don't think that your time has been wasted, okay? Because none of it was wasted. Everything that you went through is like so that you could be prepared to be that Christ consciousness on the earth, to spread that light to others, to influence people to just go within and do better. And that could very well threaten these religious organizations or cults, covens, secret society, Illuminati, whatever. I mean, you sharing your light and spreading your knowledge around and actually teaching people what, you know, living as Jesus did, and as you are like a very good example for people. And this is why I feel like a community, a group of people needs you. See, these people, this Hierophant group and the people in them, they have got to walk away, dissatisfied with the Eight of Cups there. They got to walk away. Why do they have to walk away? Because first of all, these people were trying to get you to leave your job or stop helping the public or stop being charitable. Why would anybody want that? That's effed up. Oh, because these people are money hungry, greedy thieves. And they basically want you to devote your time and energy to them. And no, you're not. You guys are not going into a religious system to where you're going to be in a fucking hamster wheel running around and around, never getting anywhere. You've already experienced whatever the fuck this crap is. And excuse my language, but you've already experienced it. You're not going to just jump back into somebody else's weird belief system. And it is a man-made belief system. Okay, you're not going to just jump back into that and start going the opposite direction when you're literally being rewarded and having an ascension and finally stepping into your date. Yeah, this could be about somebody wanting to date you, but it is your ascension. There is a portal that's happening today, and I can feel it. So somebody was wanting you to like relocate. I feel like if you are going to relocate, it's going to be on with God, okay? God finding you a place to go. These people, they may need to relocate. I feel like they just need to mind their own business. And whatever they think they know about you, they don't know, not even the half of it. They don't know anything. Empress, because you're showing up a divine being, somebody that is beyond loved. You're, giving birth to new ideas. You're very creative. You're here to nurture and to lead other people to freedom. And this Hierophant group who, they're obsessed with control and domination. They don't like that. They don't like that you represent what Christ represented. They don't like that. Oh, well. It's not your job to make everybody like you. Who gives a fuck? Literally. The people that are for you will be for you. The ones that are not, you don't have to worry about those. And I also get that you guys listen to your own wisdom. You're not looking for outside validation like these people are. These people are literally wanting to be validated by something external. These people are going to be searching the entire planet to find God. And the reason they're never going to find it is because they're going to be looking on the outside of themselves. They'll never be led to it. Once they figure out how to go within, boom, they'll access God. But these people, they want everybody searching everywhere on the outside of themselves to find the divine. And that's just not the way that creation works. I also get that these people are very disappointed and dissatisfied with the collaboration that has been created here with the devil. They're like, well, let's just blame the devil. Why is it always the devil's fault? And all the devil represents is like the lower ego, like people being greedy, materialistic, judging others, being compulsive. You're dealing with people that, and I think I said this in one of the readings yesterday, but you're dealing with people that literally want to do to you what the Romans did to Christ. They want to like literally do that shit. And that is not, that's not right. I also get that, you know, these people are like, how can we get into their inner circle? They can't. They have to walk away from the devil and from trying to ensnare you, dissatisfied. Because whatever this stupid idea, it's not working. The moon. Hidden enemies, illusions, secrets. Bad luck for these people and everybody that they know. Wow. Deception. These people wanted to deceive you. You're not stupid, though. You're very intuitive people. Interesting. What else do we need to know about this situation? High Priestess, this is what I was just talking about. You're very intuitive people. You know, you have that High Priestess intuition energy down. You know that the answers to whatever you have going on is within you. It doesn't exist in another person. It doesn't exist in a religious system. It doesn't exist in a ritual. I mean, you can do rituals and things like that, only do them on yourself, but you can do things like that to help. But if you only address things on the outside, you'll never get to the core of what is causing it that's on the inside. And I feel like you guys know that. And at the beginning of this reading, my heart was beating really fast, and I don't really know why. But this person, they could be very, like, afraid of something. Knight of Pentacles. Whoever this was that was trying to bring this, like, stupid love offer to you, this person's nervous. They know that they're not going to be able to just cast this 10 of Wands, this cross on you and cause you to carry it. Like, the fuck? You may help people heal, but it's not your job to carry a cross for anybody. And the age of sacrificing your best friend, your partner, your this, your that shit is the fuck over. These people have they're very uncomfortable with the transition of power. And their rituals are not working anymore. So you guys are going to see a lot of people in the public, a lot of people that are celebrities, a lot of people fall because their rituals are not keeping them safe anymore. They can't, it's been rendered null and void. And these people are fighting an uphill battle. They doubt their own worth. And not only that, their life, they feel like they can never get a break. The Tower, because they're always in the Tower because of their previous actions. Like I said, you know, I have not always made the best choices, but I have done everything in my own power to turn the shit around, and I make better ones now. That's why my life is going better, you know, than it was. Like, I can significantly say that going within and connecting with God, that has greatly helped me. And I feel like nobody can condemn you, okay? And it's not their job to. If they want to attempt to do that, if they want to attempt to judge you and take something from you, let them try and let them, you know, fall into the own pit that they've dug for you. Because I'm serious. It's not their job. It's nobody's. These people are fucking hypocrites. It's nobody's job to be judging other people and trying to condemn them for whatever they believe. People need to learn to leave others alone. The Star, but they can't leave you alone because they're obsessed with this new Aquarius, new age energy that you hold. They want to know the secrets to the universe that you have. If you end up sharing that, it'll be on your terms, and these people will need to purchase a book or pay for it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with them? I'm so sick of people thinking that they can just steal, kill, and destroy just because they were attached to a low vibrational energy. Whatever bonds and contracts that they had with whatever this higher dimensional entity being thing is, this entity was always going to backdoor them and betray them. So I don't know what they were thinking. Four of Cups. I know what they were thinking. They were bored. Out of boredom. The things that people will do out of boredom is ridiculous. I also get that, you know, These people are emotionally exhausted from trying to accomplish something that will never happen. So they might want to just stop being so self-absorbed and look to the fact that, like, they're not helping the greater good. They're hindering it. They're attempting to hinder somebody who is here for the highest and best good of all people and of the world itself. You're needed. The planet freaking needs you. You're an important piece to the ascension plan for this earth. These people are not serving any higher, greater purpose. That's why they're opposing you. But they also want to come in and love bomb you. Like, they think that you wouldn't be able to figure that out. You've got to be joking. Queen of Cups. These people have made the grave mistake. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. They have made the gravest mistake thinking that this is all that you are. You may be a loving, nurturing, kind, generous person. They could see you as the perfect wife and loving mother, but that's not all that you are. Maybe that's what you portrayed to the world in the past, but that where these people fuck up the most is by thinking that they know you inside and out. This is where these people make the biggest mistake, is that they think that they know every part of you, every side of your personality. And these people, even if they had some information about you, they don't know shit. They don't know anything about you, you know? Literally, that's fucking crazy. And these people think that some, like, lame ass voodoo is going to override God's intention. No. Sir, ma'am, it, they, them, whoever this person is. No. Go back to doing the voodoo. Like, these people, they act like they're so loyal to the divine, but they're over here doing, and there's nothing, like, voodoo can be used for good. But are these people using it for good? The fuck no. No, they're not. And I'm getting that you guys need to be, don't be letting people in your house that you don't know well. Don't be letting people in your room. Don't be giving people things. Just please be aware, you guys. Please be aware that there are people out here that are like this. And that you're not going to attract all people like this, but literally there are people out there like this. Just know that you're safe as long as, and these people are so stupid. They're dumb because they think that like, they don't even take into consideration that you're the Empress. They think that all you are is the Queen of Cups. That's a very deadly ass mistake, to think that somebody is just going to allow other people to walk on them, take their position, like push them out of the way. Like, I'm sorry, but that's insane. That's stupidness. You may be loving and caring, but you do it to the right people. You're not going to love and care for these weirdos that just want to break you down. And if they think they can just come in and trample you down, they're in for a very rude awakening. They really are. Queen of Wands. Whoever this person is trying to compete with you, I don't like them. I don't like them because, first of all, they lie. Secondly, they're a methodical planner that likes to plot and manipulate shit. And the only reason they're after your destiny is because they're bored with their own. This person doesn't know what they're here to do. These people don't know who they are. And this person thinks, oh, I'm skinnier. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. I'm so much better than them. Says who? Who the fuck told this person that? I'm serious. The Knight of Pentacles, is that, I mean, listening to what a Knight of Pentacles, that's a Knight of Pentacles. This is what I'm saying. Who the hell told this Queen of Wands that they are better than you? That they look better than you? That they are better than you? That they dress better than you? Who the, like, seriously. I feel like it was this Knight of Pentacles energy that said that. And yeah, who gives a fuck what this person thinks? These people have made a grave mistake, very dangerous mistake, underestimating you. It's crazy. And they're up under judgment for doing so. This Queen of Wands is a witch. Okay, they do voodoo. They could do some other type of practice along with voodoo, but it's majority voodoo. They're playing around in things they shouldn't play with. That could actually really ruin their own life. I mean, they're not even thinking of that. This person thinks they can use voodoo to change your timeline. No, no. They can like try to block it or delay it, but that's only if you allow it. I would not be allowing any voodoo, and I would be knowing that you are more powerful than any voodoo and that your purpose is greater and you're going to be protected while you're here. That's the Ace of Swords energy that you have. Two of Cups. You have a soul contract with the universe to fulfill. This Queen of Wands, they don't have that. That's why they're so fucking jealous of you. So envious. And again, they also thought that they knew everything that there was to know about you. These people could have a bunch of information about you and still not know anything, because these people don't understand God, and your higher self is God. These people have completely looked past the divine realm, even though they engage in voodoo and shit like that. This person's like, I should have already had their blessings by now. I should have already da-da-da-da-da. And they don't even realize that the reason that they're being rejected in everything that they do and that nobody wants to fuck with them is because other people have figured out who these people are. Like, they figured out that these people are voodoo doing, destiny thieves, witches, and warlocks that go to church on Sunday, or, go to a prayer group or whatever, and then they do satanic shit on the side. People know this. This is like not hidden information anymore. This is information that people know. I don't know if this was a neighbor of yours or whoever this Queen of Wands is, but ew. This person expects you to just forgive them. They're not even done doing voodoo on you. How can you just forgive them? Like, seriously, be realistic, people. I would forgive yourself for allowing this person into your life, but just be graceful to yourself, because you didn't know that there was people that existed like this. She sees your landlady. This is what I'm saying. Okay, I was in a situation where I had a neighbor who was supposed to, she had a disease that was supposed to take her out at like the age of 12. And she's the oldest person on this planet with this disease. And she was literally stealing my life force energy while I sleep, doing rituals on me, doing rituals outside of my home and shit like that. And I had to learn how to protect my energy. And it came to the point where I ended up having to move. And now that person can't do anything to me. They're up under judgment for that. For harassing me, gang stalking me, being a bully to me, being violent towards me, trying to make me feel unsafe, sending all of that spell work. All of that spell work shit has returned back to this person. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. If you could like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed. So important, you guys, please, and thank you. Death. Crazy. Crazy. So anyways, judgment and death together. Yikes. That looks pretty severe. I'm glad that you're not a part of that. But this person could have been trying to condemn you to death. Pathetic. Literally. Pathetic, yo. I also get that this person could have been trying to tell you, like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, who the fuck do they think they are to be commanding what you need to do and not do? They're not your mama. They're not your daddy. They're not even, like, related to you. This person is stupid. Okay? Why would you listen to this person? The fuck? Over when you have a connection with God. Why would you listen to this person over what God is asking you to do? And just because somebody else wants to judge you, that doesn't mean you're being judged. That means somebody else wants you judged. That doesn't mean God is judging you, okay? You just need to understand that when somebody else wants to judge you, that's what they're going to experience. Because this person, they're brought this judgment trying to condemn you to death. What the fuck is wrong with them? Why would anybody try to do that to another person? What makes this person so righteous and so holy that they can condemn someone else's life to death when this person has not even stopped their sinning cycle? And yeah, doing voodoo on people, fucking with their free will, that is a sin. That is a mistake. That is a great mistake. So the fact that this person thinks that they're better than you because they believe in Jesus is delusional. The fuck? Did Jesus go around acting like he was better than everybody the fuck else? No. He preached to the poor, to the people that had made mistakes. He helped a lot of people. Did he help everyone? No. He didn't waste his time helping people that he knew wouldn't help themselves. But literally, and I don't mean to compare you to Jesus like that, but I am just literally seeing that, you know, this person is trying to have you persecuted, and there's no reason for that. Their opinion of you is not God's opinion of you. And so don't mistake somebody else's opinion of you as what the universe thinks of you, because that's not even true. And I literally get that, like, you guys are figuring out that the universe does not answer to these people anymore. This is the new age of Aquarius. The universe is more likely going to answer what you want than what these people want. Because again, it's nobody's job to be condemning another person to death. Stop. And if that's what people are only being in religion to use religion to condemn people to death, why don't we allow God to do what God's going to do and the universe to do what the universe is going to do? Why don't we stop trying to judge other people and condemn them to death? These people, they're stupid. They have no idea what the fuck they would, how if they tried to come for you, these people have no idea what would be done to them. Because there are some people that cannot be touched, and you are one of them. Like, seriously. And I feel like people that keep trying to get away with doing wrong by others continuously, they should be looking at the fact that they have not been slapped out by the universe as grace and mercy over their life, and stop abusing that. Because eventually that shit will be taken away. Like, literally. And God's given this Queen of Wands and this Knight of Pentacles many opportunities to just go the other direction and mind their own business. Go within and tap into God within themselves. Stop trying to use some higher dimensional demonic fucking entity that these people are attached to, that they keep calling God, which it's not God, it's a fucking demon. But they need to stop trying to use this thing to judge you, because this, whatever it is that they're working with, does not have the ability to call down judgment on a chosen one, point blank, period. And you're here to do a bigger picture. As long as you just continue to work on yourself and work on healing the world, you're going to fulfill that. These people, they're not going to be calling judgment and death down on anyone but themselves. These people would not want to be judged in the way that they're trying to judge you. This is like throw rock, hide your hand, and cry fucking wolf type behavior. These people are like, condemn them because they don't believe what we believe. Everybody's allowed to believe what they want to. That's free will. And anybody that's wanting to dominate and control that, I don't respect that. I also don't feel like you're going to go jump into any type of religious system that treats women and children like cattle. And I don't feel like, you know, you have to obey somebody else's religious law. No. Maybe if you were living in the Middle East or wherever this law is coming from, that would be part of the system, but you're not a part of that system. I think that people are very, very limited in their perspective, like, of you, because you may not be, for example, you may not be Muslim, but you're still loved by Allah. You may not be Christian, but you're still loved by Jesus and by God and by the Holy Spirit. You may not be Jewish, but you are still loved by the Most High. It doesn't matter, like, literally. Your love comes from a higher power, comes from your higher self, which is God. Everybody's higher self is God. The kingdom of heaven is within. That's how you're going to access God, is by going within yourself, and you figure that out. That means that anything that these people want to do, they're not going to force you to martyr yourself or self-sacrifice. They can't tell you you're unworthy of God's love or you deserve to burn. The fuck is wrong with them? How can somebody in their right mind be trying to convict you of being a chosen light worker, prophet, positive person, while they're over here doing voodoo death magic shit? How can anybody in their fucking right mind think that? And I seriously get that if this person is a part of another religion that could be from another part of the world. They need to be worried about their own religion finding out what they're doing on the side, okay? Because they'll be actually kicked out of whatever this is. Nobody wants to be around a witch or a warlock that pretends to love God when they don't. These people hate God, okay? And they've got serious problems for that because they blame everything on God and won't take any responsibility for their own actions that they created with the free will that God gave us. Nine of Wands. This is what I'm saying. Nine of Wands. You're not waiting on something external to come in and give you guidance. What the fuck? No, I don't. If something, first of all, if anything were to come to me and try to tell me what to do, I would be extremely suspect of that. And I would be like, nah, no. I get my guidance from my own higher self, God. I don't need anybody else's connection to God to guide me. I don't need any dead person's words to show me what I need to do. I can go within and access my own ability and my own power and my own higher self. This person, they think they're making the mistake thinking that you need them and that you're listening to whatever this bullshit is that they keep send you. These people are going to be very wounded in the days to come. All right, let's get a conclusion for this situation. Yeah, like you still have a soul contract with the universe. You're doing what, you know, the divine has asked you to do. I don't think anything is going to come of whatever this is that these people intended. Six of Pentacles. These people are broke. They wanted you to be the beggar. Now they're the beggar. How ironic. These people were straight up like wishing death and judgment on you. Like, no, these people are no better than the people that crucified Jesus. They're no better than those people because they're doing the same exact thing. Or they're attempting to, at least. They're not actually going to do it. These people are going to sacrifice themselves. They're already in debt to the universe. These people have to pay the devil. Whatever devil that they keep calling God, they have to pay that energy back. I also get that, you know, if you have a love union that's coming into existence, this person is not going to be able to take that from you. If this is a perpetual, let me sleep with your man or your woman type person, they need to stop being a weirdo, okay? They're not getting their hands on whoever this person is. This Queen of Wands has children. They need to like literally mind their own business and take care of their own responsibilities. Like, instead of looking at this child that they have as like a burden and only a way to make money, this person should be thankful that they have the blessing of having a child, okay? Because that is a blessing. But they wish that they had your life instead. Like, that is fucking crazy to me. This person would give up their whole child and everything that they created already in their life to have what you have. Weirdos. Literally. And I get that this person's child is, you know, naturally a good person. This person's parent is not shit. They are not shit when it comes to this situation. King of Wands. Yeah, because this Queen of Wands is sleeping with the Knight of Pentacles and with the King of Wands, which is the dad to this Page of Wands. Maybe they're trying to take this person to court and have them have to pay a lot of money in child support. And maybe this person, there's been a ruling in their favor to where they get joint custody and they don't have to pay as much child support. This person's looking, they're trying to use their child as a tool to get more money. Literally. What else do we need to know? The sun, that you guys are the light. You're here to inspire other people to go within and gain their own perspective, gain their own opinion, but not think that that opinion overrides the opinion of the divine realm, because it doesn't. Yeah, you guys like have healed a lot when it comes to your childhood and how you were raised and stuff, and you just made different choices than these other people. And so they resent you for that because they can't put you in the same boat that they're in. And they can't make you paddle in the same river. These people are in denial when it comes to themselves. And they don't want to take responsibility for the fact that they're not winning anything. I also get that, like, if you're in the entertainment business, this person wants you to stop immediately. Like, they're like, just stop being a star. Like, no, don't listen to what these people have to say. I would just ignore them. Anyone that's trying to condemn another person to death or use a child as a meal ticket to get money out of somebody, those people are going to lose. Okay? They're going to lose. Yeah, and you're over here in the 10 of Cups. This is your era to shine, my dear. This is your time to have a happy family, whether it's the one that you were born with or one that you make. Okay? That's like the Sun and the 10 of Cups. That's dope. That's like the best thing. You could be getting ready to purchase a home, to move to a new home, to move to a new location. You could be considering this. I would take it into great consideration. These people are definitely afraid of losing access to you. They don't understand. You've already shut the door, locked it, and walked through a new door. And then you shut that door as well. And so there is no going backwards. There's no, like, you can't unlearn the things that you've learned. Like, you can't unexperience and test how you can't, like, just disregard your testimony when you've been shown things and you've had experiences. You can't go backwards. And why would you want to? You don't. And these people were stupid anyways, thinking that all you were was a Queen of Cups. Wow, that was a mistake. 5 of Wands, because these people want to compete with you, even though there's nothing to compete over. Literally. There is nothing to compete over. Not when it comes to you. You're not, these people are not in the same lane as you. They're not even in the same, they're not even on the same freeway, let alone the same lane. These people are just greedy and lustful for power, and they see you having it, and they're like, how can I get that? Well, they would need to take the same steps and actions that you did to be in the position you're in. And secondly, these people are not trusted by the divine. The reason that they don't have the power, that they don't have your position, and that they can't take your destiny is because these people would never be trusted with power, because Spirit already knows what they would do with it. This is why they're not given it. And that's why they want to argue and protest to the world, like through a speakerphone, why you shouldn't receive something. Let these fucking idiots argue with the divine realm. Okay? You don't even need to defend yourself. The fact that you have the knowledge and the good energy and the blessings, and that they don't, it shows for itself that you're going to do the right thing with it. These people, they want you to be concerned over your self-worth. You don't feel that way. You're not whatever these people thought you were. Yeah, and this is your time to get justice for all of the obstructions of justice that these weirdos caused you. You're getting justice now. And that's part of your 10 of Cups, happily ever after, is you getting justice for the way that these people were treating you. And the way that they just decided to discard your life and all of that shit for no reason. Who the fuck do these people think that they are, trying to tell you what to do and what you can't do and what you should do? I would be like, mind your own business. Point blank, period. I'm going to be listening to what, you know, the universe and my angels and my higher self shows me, not whatever the fuck these people read out of some book that they have. And they want to tempt you into, like, creating a shortcut. These people want to know your secret blueprint. I would not reveal that to them. Ace of Wands, because for you, anything is possible. Anything that you put your energy behind, God is going to back. The universe is going to back. These people, they can wish on a djinn, wish on a star, wish on a whatever, falling star, whatever it is. They can wish whatever the fuck they want, but it's going to happen to them. So they might want to change their approach to this whole wish fulfillment thing. These people are not getting their wishes granted. Not in the slightest. And there's no entity, being, or whatever that gives a fuck what these people think, because it doesn't. 7 of Swords. These people know that there's only one correct decision, and it's to respect you and leave you alone. And it is not only that, but to start respecting other people's thoughts and beliefs and their own perspective. I think that every human alive has their own viewpoint, their own perspective, and it's valuable for the greater whole. These people tried to devalue you, and they weren't able to do that. And they think that they can fix the situation by, you know, appeasing you. I would literally tell these people to go to God. If they got a problem with you being who you are, being who God made you to be, tell them to go to complain to this demon or whatever. See how much this stupid entity does not give a fuck about these people. Like, seriously, I would be like, well, if you got a problem with what I'm doing, then go talk to somebody else about it, because I don't care. And the fact that you don't care, it's got these people tripping. Ignore the fact that this person looks old. You guys are an emperor and an empress. You're already in your divine energy. You're standing in your own power, and you are basically the creator of your own reality. These people, okay, I'm going to make an analogy here. You're like a master at bowling. You have mastered something. You're teaching a bowling class. This is just an example, you guys. These people are over on the one side of the bowling alley where the bumpers are up. You know, the bumpers that come up for like kids, and they put this thing that you can put the ball down and it rolls it and you just aim it, like for kids to learn. These people are still living their life with the bumpers up because they're buying into this religious dogma crap. So they're trying to guide, and even with the bumpers up and the little thing you put the bowling ball on to roll it down so it can guide these people are still not knocking the pins over. But you're over here mastered something. You're actually teaching other people how to bowl, and you get a, what is it called? A strike every time. You knock all the pins down every time. And these people think, oh, I'll just jump into their lane, jump into the way that they think about things. I'll first of all betray everything that I was doing before, and I'll take the bumpers down. Now, and these people are experiencing what life is like with the bumpers down, how hard it is for them to hit any of those pins. It just goes into the gutter every time because they don't know how to throw the ball. They never invested in that. They just invested in trying to master what you do. It's not for them. These people should be playing pool or some other type of game. 7 of Cups. And this is why being delusional is your worst enemy in this day and age. I feel like you guys have not drank from those cups. You're not stuck in your shadow side. You're not stuck in darkness. You guys know what you're here to do. You have mastered something when it comes to your health, to your wealth, to your life. And there's nothing that anybody's going to do about that. If they got a problem, they can take it up with somebody else. And you're not going to just randomly fall head over heels in love with somebody that you do not like. And as far as this person, this opposition, this Queen of Wands, they cannot force your hand. They cannot force you into whatever their demonic coven is. They cannot force you into anything. This person is used to using the Bible or whatever religious book to have others judged. And this person is finally feeling what it feels like to be up under judgment, because they were doing this to like everyone that they come into contact with that they don't like. Very childish behavior. But yeah, you're not going to carry the cross for this person. If they come towards you and ask for forgiveness, I would just ignore them. They don't need your forgiveness for them to move forward and fuck off. You know, they really don't. They don't need your forgiveness. It's like they need to go to their higher self and be like, hey, I made some mistakes. But that doesn't mean that God, higher self, is going to just block this person from learning their lesson. No, they're going to have to go through what they put other people through so they can understand never to do it again. And that's the whole point of learning the lessons, so you don't have to repeat them. This is why they're insane and you're not. Yes, you're authentically you, and they can't copy you. So thank you guys for making it to the ending of this reading. I love you so much. Please like this video, tap the notification bell, make sure you guys are subscribed. I'm going to talk about 2 books. The links to these books are in the description box below. And remember that if any of you have any questions at the beginning of the reading, you can send a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and answer your question. So the first book I'm going to talk about is The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook. When people are like, how do you do what you do? It's through the techniques in this book. I will tell you, I've always been psychic, But I felt the majority of my life trapped in the psychic realm, trapped in my ego, to where I was having all these crazy experiences that I couldn't explain, couldn't even bring words to explain it. And I spent the majority of my time outside playing with the fairies. And so, it was just really hard for me because, like I was saying, my consciousness was very, very trapped. And it could have been, a little bit of alien abduction that trapped it, but it could have also been, the fact that I was in religion at the time. And I'm not discrediting religion, but for me, it did not foster or manifest or create whatever it was supposed to do. It did not create a connection with God. Okay. Created some type of connection with some demonic shit. But, again, when I gained this information, I was able to rise above all of the lower vibrational crap. And so that's why when I started going on my spiritual journey in 2012, I went through a major awakening. I stopped being so afraid. And it's still a process. Like, I'm not perfect, So the first technique that is in this book is so beautiful. It's called the God technique. It allows you to shift out of the frequency of your ego, which is where I was being trapped, so that you can be looking out through the eyes of your higher self. When I first started doing the God technique, the gap in consciousness between me and God was like huge. The more that I do the God technique, the less that gap becomes. And I feel like everybody has the ability to go within and to tap into God's energy and to connect with the universal energy called God. But if that ability is not ever fostered or created, and for me, religion did not create that, okay? If it's not fostered, it can kind of fade away. But that doesn't mean that it cannot be resurrected. That's what a spiritual awakening is for, all right? And so just know that this information, it may be many lifetimes to come before you come across this information again. Let's see. So the second technique in this book that I use every day, and you see me use it on this platform when I'm asking questions, is the joy versus anger technique, which is a yes and no answering system. So you have open communication with God, your higher self source, all of the time. So you can be asking yes and no questions. My life before asking questions was very chaotic, and, it was difficult. I would run into situations and things that I didn't like. Now that I can ask, should I go here? Should I go there? Should I do this? Should I do that? I basically only run into things that I don't like when I forget to ask, or I ask the wrong question, or I go against my intuition, which I've learned not to do. Because everybody has clairsentience, which is clear feeling. And this book, the Joy versus Anger Technique, works with clairsentience. So it works on what you already have, basically, and then establish a yes and no answering system that will never give you an inaccurate answer. And if you get no, not to go somewhere, do not go, because you'll figure out why you were told not to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just don't. I just would listen to what you get. And then the mind technique is an amazing technique because it gives you the ability to use the joy versus anger technique to question the thoughts and beliefs that you are thinking and believing that's creating and influencing the reality that you're experiencing. When you can get rid of those thoughts and beliefs, that type of experience, if it shows up again, you won't even be triggered by it, or you won't even notice it. And eventually that experience will stop coming in. And you don't have to be psychic to use this book. You don't have to be even intuitive to start using this book. It goes through everything from prayer to meditations. The journey to God is probably the most important part. And then the, cosmic consciousness, the spiritual bank, and then the techniques in the book. But yeah, when you can start going through your belief system and getting rid of the things that were hindering you and causing the situations to keep coming in over and over again, then you can allow the reality to shift. And you don't have to believe in anything. The sun's going to come up whether you believe it or not. Okay. So you can test it. You can stop believing the sun's going to come up today and it's still going to come up tomorrow. So the positive will always be there. But what beliefs do is they colorize your creation and they bind you to experiences that it's like having an expectation. And so, yeah, expectations are also limiting things because God has something much greater than anything that we could visualize or imagine. So this book is called The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive Living Workbook, and it's written by Michael Steadman. The link to that is in the description box below. The second book that I am, and so the links to these books are in the description box below. The second book I'm going to talk about is the one that I've written. It's called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, and it works with the original Rider-Waite deck, which is what we were working with today. RYDERWAITE. I suggest because this book is going to teach you how to read cards for yourself and for others, if you're interested in that. And so the original Rider-Waite, I would just invest in getting the deck that has the words and the description on it so that you don't have to like flip through a separate book to get the interpretation. And for each of the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions, like the Hermit, the Lovers, the Strength, the Star, okay, for everything that you see on the card, there is a position and a tarot card spread for that. So you do a deep dive, and you can use these tarot card spreads and spells as many times as you want. And again, I use the word spell very loosely because these are manifestation techniques that you work with God and the Holy Spirit. They don't affect anybody else. It's only for your betterment, okay? And it doesn't have to do with anybody else. And so the first tarot card spread in the book is so freaking cool. It's a 14 zodiac tarot card spread where you pull 2 cards for each position, for each zodiac position, and one of the cards will be your South Node card, which will show your ego, where your ego is at in relation to the energy of the zodiac sign. And then the North Node will show you where your destiny is at, where you will ascend to. And then you'll be able to like look at both cards and see where the gap is and where you can improve in your life to get to where you need to go. And then the spell that goes along with that is to integrate the 14 zodiac signs so that you can adopt positive traits of the other zodiac signs and balance your own energy out and to step into your destiny. Okay, so I'm going to read from one of the spreads. Which one? I think I'm going to read from the Lovers. So the Lovers are a representation. So the Lovers is the number 6. The answer is yes, because every tarot card has a yes and no answer. The Zodiac is Gemini. The Lovers are a representation of a twin flame soul partnership and soul contract. The Lovers can inspire new love and the beginning of a new romance. The Lovers represent 2 beautiful souls coming into divine union. This card represents good times, close friendships, physical beauties, attractiveness, and compatibility with love life partnerships. The Lovers can represent temptation, sexuality, lust. So you'll pull 1 card for each position. Position 1, and you can use these tarot cards and spreads and spells over and over again, and you'll get new information every time. So yeah, so astrological cherubim influences. This card position will show to you any angelic aid that is written into your birth chart, how astrologically aligned and compatible you are with the cherubim Cupid-like angels of love. If you are connected to your heart chakra, or if you wear your heart on your sleeve, that may show up in the card that you pull for this position. If you pull the Lover's card for this position, you will know that you have an angel of love looking over you and that you have a divine twin flame union soul ascension contract to fulfill in this lifetime. And we have position 2, the left hand of the cherubim. This card position represents lust and the primal sexual drives of a person. Sexual prowess and how dominant or submissive that you are to others can be revealed in the card that you pull for this position. If you have any sexual vices or perversions or kinkiness, that may show up in the spicy energy of the card that you pull for this position. If you pull the Devil card for this position, you will know that you have a succubus or incubus demon attachment that you will want to get cleansed away. Furthermore, if you pull the Devil card for this position, you will know that some sex magic has been performed on you with the intention to harvest your sacred yoni energy, which is like sexual energy. If you do pull the Devil card for this spot, you can pull 2 additional cards for this position if you need further guidance, and then look at the interpretations of those cards, and then look at those cards and that interpretation related to the Devil's card. You'll be able to figure out whatever it is that's keeping an open door to this energy coming into your life. So it says, make sure that you check the answer for each tarot card so that you can ask more personal questions and get yes and no answers to further guide you through the tarot. Position 3, the right hand of the cherubim. This card position represents one's greatest virtue. This could be kind gestures along with charity work. If you are a humanitarian, that could be revealed in the card that you pull for this position. If you have any virtues that are passed down from either an ancestor or the angel of love, you may pick up on that in the card that you pull for this position. Okay, so you guys get the gist. The lover spell is to draw love into one's life. The chariot spell is to remove obstacles. The strength is to become stronger. The hermit is to find one's own inner light. The high priestess is for self-enlightenment. The wheel of fortune is to attract good fortune. The justice is to create justice against those that thought that they got away with it. So if you guys have court cases, I would be doing the Justice Tarot card spell and the Last Judgment Tarot card spell. The Hangman is to sacrifice things that are no longer serving you. The Death is to bring about appropriate endings in aspects of things that you just want to end, basically. It says endings and much needed change. The Temperance is to manifest with Archangel Michael. The ritual for that one helps you create holy water so that you can bless your space. And then in the back of the book, there is a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when the different major arcana cards come out one next to the other. So I'm going to read the Lovers from the Lovers. The Lover's Tarot card is a positive card to pull, but when it's in the reverse, it warns one of a bad choice in love life that has been made. When the Lover is upright, you can expect the coming together of two individuals who are divinely connected to one another, such as a soulmate, twin flame, or karmic relationship partnership. If the Lovers comes out before the Star Tarot card, you can expect to have a relationship that is in the public view. Get ready for paparazzi because a famous love life is coming your way. If you pull the Lovers with the Emperor, it could mean that the masculine energy coming in is a CEO, boss, daddy, wealthy, intelligent, mature, bold, courageous, and kind. If you pull the Lovers and then pull the Nine of Swords or the Ten of Swords, it would be a big warning that the person that you're having a partnership with is going to cause you great grief and karma. If you pull the Lovers and the Nine of Wands, it could mean that you're scared because of a past partnership that didn't work out. If the Nine of Wands comes out before the Lovers, it could indicate that the partner that you are with could end up emotionally scarring you in the future. If you pull the Lovers and the Two of Swords together, it could mean that you are healing from a heartbreak or that you have a heart wall up. Heart walls are put up almost as a reaction to a traumatic event. In our minds or hearts, we say, whoa, that really hurts. I don't think that I want to experience that again. I am keeping that out. Then a wall is created, and that wall will only allow in the experiences that are on the lower compatibility spectrum. With a wall up, the good experiences cannot get through to you. This is why it is very important to be aware if you are blocking yourself in your love life, because with a heart wall, that is exactly how you block that. If you pull the Lovers and the Eight of Swords, it can indicate that a lover or romantic partner may be going to jail, or it could be talking about somebody that is in jail. So you guys, and it just keeps going on and on, but check this book out. It's called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. All you need to get started learning how to read cards for yourself and for others is the original Rider-Waite deck, Riderwaite. And I would go ahead and get the deck that's got the descriptions on the card. And the links to these books are in the description box below, you guys. Both of them, The Truth of God and Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, these are going to help you guys so much on your spiritual journey. So thank you guys for making it to the ending of this reading. I love you so much. God bless you. Check out the links in the description box for those books, you guys, and order them. And I love you. I love you. I love you. Peace be with you, you guys. I will see you in the next one, okay? Bye. Thank you guys for being here with me today. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, hype the video, tap the notification bell. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.